Okay, I might be starting a little prematurely before I'm ready, but I had just gotten some cookies and tea, but I had to show these cookies because, I mean, look at these things. They're so freaking perfect. And these ones, so I had gone through my almond butter ones already. I have some more to make, but I was like, man, I really like those walnut ones. I have walnuts. What if I just grind up the walnuts, put them with coconut oil, and would that make a paste? And so it made this paste. So I made walnut butter cookies again. And oh my gosh, I think they're so good. But anyways, it was so simple. I was like, dang, that's all you gotta do. Even do peanut butter or almond butter. You don't have to buy it. Like, I don't know what emulsifier they use. All it says is like, well, some of them, they've got a list of chemicals. And you got to be careful on all those. But the ones that just have like peanuts, it's like, I don't know. All this stuff is oily. All the nuts are oily. Maybe I didn't need to put any coconut oil. But anyway, since I was using it for cookies, and I did anyway. So hold on, I got to take a bite of it. Now that's the thing. Now I'm going to eat them while I talk. Hold on. Okay. I'm going to share it with Stella too, because I always do. Here. So, and she's having a fit this morning. So, hold on, because now we're doing this again. These cookies were so weird how every batch comes out different. These ones, I think, are so perfect. And I had a few batches where I was like, oh my God, these are perfect. But, and it's simple. And hold on a sec. I guess on these ones too, because I put walnuts and coconut oil, and then added in sugar, maple syrup, vanilla, my mineral salt, and an egg, and then I added a little bit of brown sugar. I tasted it before I put the egg. Well, I think I tasted it after I put the egg in too, but I tasted it before. I was like, oh, it needs a little bit more sweetener. I made one batch that just used, I think I just used date syrup or something on one of these nut cookies. It was no sugar taste at all. I still have some of those. There's no, but I always see people doing these, like, these breakfast healthy things. They have a bunch of healthy stuff in it, but there's still, like, good, like, chocolate, banana muffin, whatever. There's a whole bunch of different ones I see people making all the time. Lots and lots of people eat oats. But oats fuck with my stomach. All grains and stuff fuck with my stomach. So I'm like, ugh. But but this one is, so I added maple syrup, which I have no idea how much. I just dumped some in. I would say probably a third of a cup or something. And then probably a quarter cup of brown sugar. And my brown sugar was really dry, so I had to grind it up. And this started turning into white sugar. So, wow. Because also, if you take white sugar and you grind it, it turns into powdered sugar. So I don't know if it all starts with the brown sugar. And it's like, we just need to buy brown sugar, and it's more the healthy thing, because like, I'm still on this sugar cane where those African villager ladies were out there just eating the sugar cane. I was like, okay, the sugar cane's not bad for us. Nature kind of enjoys us enjoying sugar. It's kind of in the plan. So I don't think it's just like the sugar where everybody's like, sugar. I think it's something they put in it in the processing that fucks it up for us. Like, so hold on. Is I think it something that makes us addicted to it or something. She loves the cookies. Man, I got in this big talk yesterday with these people on TikTok out love. Because I see these videos all the time. And people are always freaked out. Like, there's one lady, well, you know, at Thanksgiving, we let our dogs have some food, you know, and they really live it up, but, you know, gotta be careful with their stomach. It's like, what in the world are people convinced of? Real food is gonna fuck with their dog's stomach. No, it's the fucking shit food that is fucking with their system. And then you put something real in it, it's like, what's happening? Well, they gotta get used to it. Like, a change of eating cardboard and then eating food. But I mean, there's legitimately people think dogs eating food is bad for them. It's just wild. And so, but there is a wave of change happening. There's a big wave of people. Oh my God, Dribbles. That's a slobberpuss right there. There's so many people who are, well, having health problems with their dogs, for one thing, and so many people. And then just thinking of it different, you know, there's definitely a wave of change on the feeding our dogs, caring for our dogs, what dogs mean to us, pets. There's like a whole thing, a whole expansion happening in that area too. That's all, honey. We ate them. I have to go back to the cookie jar. And I'll do that afterwards. I'm being more aware of like this weird scheduling I have, you know, with the sleeping. Like I stayed up all day again yesterday from whatever time that was, 11 p.m. until 6 p.m. the next day. So I stayed up after whatever amount of sleep that was. Today, woke up a few times, but still is always just this weird, sleeping is just weird. I don't even know. And, but then when I woke up to get up, it was 2. And so I was like, dang, I slept a long time last night. And it wasn't as bad as a couple of the nights before. Like I felt like I actually was asleep. Like I wasn't, but there's this thing where it's never, like it used to seem that there was a period of time where I zoned out maybe I never did, and I've just become aware of what's happening in behind the scenes or something. It's like you become aware of what's going on behind the curtain. There's a lot of fucking talking, I'll tell you that. A lot of fucking talking. It's like, Jesus, do we have to figure everything out? Do we have to break it all down? Do we have to discuss every fucking thing? It's like, God. I feel like it's like Mr. Nagasaki or something in my head, just going around explaining shit to me all the time. This higher-minded philosophy, it must be just your higher self. Once you let them in, they don't shut up. It's like, okay, so what about this? Let's talk about that. Oh, see this over there? Okay, what are you going to do there? Okay, well, I'm going to watch over here. And it's like, oh my God. It's weird. It's like, it's you. That's the thing that's weird too. It's like you're putting together all these pieces of you. So you are that annoying. You are this, you are that, you are all these things. And it's such an assortment. And you'll have things of you that is from someone else. So there's like parts of you that you pick up all along your route. And it's like, I don't know, it's all these pieces of you going together. That's why I said it kind of starts making you feel like you're mental and fractal and falling apart. It's weird. But, you know, you have to go through a lot of stages to get to this. Like, this is, to me, I have been years and years in on this stuff. And it is, I don't know, I have a lot of things coming in my head. Just a second. Let me sort it out while I drink the rest of this. Hold on. No sorting, just chatter. Just talking about it. I was like, okay, I'll figure it out. Don't worry. I'm catching on. I'm catching on what's going on here. Okay. Let's just do this first. I am just like, It is such a trip to be aging reverse. Like, it's a spectacular ride. It's like you're going back. It's like going through this roller coaster ride. That is so weird. Yes. Because this has been going on for so long for me. Like, I was talking about this like 6 or 8 months ago. I bet you it could have been a year ago. Like, I don't even know when I started saying this, but I started saying I keep having these weird flashes all the time of these moments and this stuff from my childhood and all this stuff. I kept saying it's so weird, and that keeps going and going and going. It's so much all the goddamn time. It's like my day is spent in memory lane with a commentator going about every little fucking thing. Like, it's intense. And but it's weird because it's like these moments in time that I don't even remember at all. But there will be like all of a sudden I'll smell a smell, or I'll feel a feeling, and I'll have this feeling. Like, it's so, I don't know how to explain it, because it's like you're there for like this split second. And then it's like, what is pulling me there? Where am I? What is this? Is it a smell? Because it's not like memories that I'm sitting there thinking of something and then it pulls me. No, it's this shuffling of like, and I don't know if it has something to do with my brain injury or what. You know, I have no idea. I can just share it. So if it starts happening to other people, then be like, oh, I remember she talked about this. Okay, this is just something that happens. So it seemed like I just, not like reliving it because it's too fast. It is like, man, I don't know how to explain it. It's like going backwards, but it's like, it's not even hitting the high points, because it's points you don't even remember, but it's something significant because it has a place card. So you have these like things, and I keep trying to figure out, okay, so is this the time period? Am I like, what am I trying to see here? What am I trying to learn here? Like, I keep trying to figure it out. It's so weird. But now that I have this vision of going through the ride, and then the ride's not ending, it's going backwards to start over. Because now we're going to do the ride. It's like we did the ride in the dark. Now we're going to do the ride in the light. But now it is like this going back on the ride. That is like this reliving it. So I don't know. Because that, like, the thing is physical, but what's happening to me is metaphysical. It is, someone just say it's all in your head. It's all in your head. Go to the doctor, sister. You're crazy. Get some medication. There's people who say that kind of stuff in the comments and stuff. Get on medication. It's like, oh my God, you poor people. You poor person. Oh my God. Oh, that's where I was last night. Oh my God. Oh, I was somewhere else for a long time. Oh, that's why I slept so long, because I wasn't even fucking here. Oh my gosh, I was somewhere for a long time. And I was seeing that, what I just said. I was seeing that. I saw this whole thing play out of this thing of something about the people, something I just said. All of a sudden I had a flash of last night, and I was at this thing in this place, and I was watching. It was like a stadium or something, and I was watching. It's weird too, because it is like that when you get into observation, like just like Thought Criminal's doing a bunch of videos. So they didn't even go to Eagle Pass. They're 30 minutes out of town from there. And I don't know that it's 700,000 trucks. It seems like, I don't know, maybe it's a couple hundred, you know, when they're all these patriots, and they just all seem to be up their own ass, like rubbing each other, you know, like, hey, yeah, you're so great, you're so cool, we're the best, we're so smart, we're the wake ones, we're the, you know, just this group of like ego rubbing, like we're the coolest. And you know, but I'm sure, you know, that they're generally trying to come together, but they don't notice how they are segregatory, like they segregate. Like, you have to believe what they believe, you have to say what they say, you have to take a knee to who and what they are in order to be a part of their group. They're not an accepting, all-inclusive bunch. And so, and that's what we're working towards. Like, if you've got that segregation, seclusion in your heart, if you think you're better than others and stuff. And I just saw this other video. Like, some of these are so absurd. And these people, they keep showing this side of themselves, this generalizing, stereotyping, hateful, ignorant. I mean, it's such an ignorance thing. It's like, I swear to God, they used to teach this. I swear to God, we learned it in elementary school. It seems like it was like 6th grade when we were getting this concept of, you can't lump people together. Everybody's so different. You can't take a group and generalize. And this was a big part too, because, you know, they had desegregated, and so they had taken half our school. It became black and white. And I don't know what happened to the school downtown. I assume they took all these black kids from downtown and they put them in our school. And then supposedly they took a bunch of kids from our school and put them in their school. So I don't know about them. I just know the kids I went to school with. And there was, so there was this whole big tension. There was a lot of stuff going on. But to me, I kept thinking, like, how can people not like people that they don't know? It's like so strange. And then, but so we were learning these different things, but we learned about stereotyping and generalizing and how ignorant it is. Like, you know, that's what ignorant people do. People who don't know, people who are fearful, people who don't know how to get to know other people, people who are scared of strangers and all that stuff. That is their own biases, their own fear is. And then but the way that they'll lump them together like they're a whole group. That's the problem with racism. And it's like, you guys are sitting here trying to be the first ones to be like, yeah, I'm not racist. But then you're going on and you're saying all this stuff that shows you actually are. Just because you're saying, well, it's not that group. No, it's not that group I hate. No, it's that group. That group over there, I pretty hate them too. But that group over there, definitely hate them. Okay, so you see what's going on? You see what you don't see? You got to see what you don't see. Like, because we can see. So this, so she was talking about, you know, they're all just having such a good time, having a campfire. You know, they're just all out there camping and partying it up and having fun. But there is some stuff, you know, there's some bullshit going on. And the news is going to try and make it all about that. They're not going to come show this happy-go-lucky, fun-loving, patriot crowd just hooping and having a good time. They're going to go over here to this crowd where there's violence and stuff happening. It's like, what? So all of us telling you that was going to happen, that didn't sink in. But now as you see it, now you're like, oh, okay. Well, now that's what they're going to do. They're going to focus on that. They're not even going to talk about us. It's like, you're just damn lucky that they haven't sent an instigator over there yet to fucking firebomb your party. It's like, let's gather a group of people that the government hates. Let's all go out here and party and give them a target. Maybe if let's all be right here in this open field, probably. Let's wheel our cars around. It'd be real easy just to hit us there. It's like, but they think they are just they're outsmarting the government. They're just so smart and witty. They're just so on top of things. It's like, man, you're just going about it just backwards and upside down. But this guy, he was just sitting there saying, I mean, I don't know what generation he is. He's the black fingernail generation. And he's telling, you know, the boomers The problem with the boomers is, and it's always this, nobody can wait until the boomers are gone. It's like, it's so wild. It's like, as the people who have any fucking sense. It's like the older generations who have gone through more experiences and seen more. These people who haven't seen shit and they're just up their own asses. It's like, you haven't even seen your own self yet. But so, and the reason they want to be so down on the fucking boomers, they want this is a created thing, and all these people play right in, is because we would be the historians. We would be the ones, what is the wise ones of the tribe? Get rid of them. That's what they do. And here in our culture, in the white American culture, hand over your elderly, hand them over, we'll take care of them, just like your kids. Hand over your children, we'll take care of them. We'll take care of them all day long. We'll do an after school program. We'll keep them all day. We'll feed them. We'll do it all. And the same with the elderly. Oh, bring out the elderly, bring them. We've got a housing facility. We'll love them. We'll care for them. We'll give them all the medical care they need. We'll just jack them up on a lot of drugs, make them hopeless, make them feel bad. We'll let them sit there in soiled britches and give them a small space and get them smaller and smaller and smaller till they cease to exist. It's wonderful. It's wonderful. We'll do a good job for you. So this whole fucking culture of what has happened to our society, that's that's something that we have to see, the disregard. But that comes from, I can see where it comes from. It comes from the pain of the dismantled relationships through the parenting and child scenario, where the people get so caught up and they hold on to so much resentment and anger and hold grudges. And the thing is too, is so wild, is like the parents, it's like a double whammy, because the parents feel rejected by their own parents. They feel like they're never good enough, and then they're rejected by their kids. And so there's a lot of stuff, I would say probably I'm in that category, so I can see it, and so I can see how there can be older people that is very painful. It's very hard if you don't know how to work through that, if you don't know how to let stuff go, if you're not close to, whatever your Lord and Savior is, whatever gives you hope and purpose. If you aren't close to something that gives you that, then, you're just going to feel like shit about yourself, and see how that becomes aging. You beat yourself down. You reject yourself. You feel rejected and not cared about by the world. So anyways, but yeah, that's the whole fucking thing. Hate the boomers, because that is in a tribe, or in, a lot of different, the elders are the value. They hold value, the elders are more like, if a kid got an opportunity to talk to an elder, to get the moment of an elder, then, they would be anointed. Like the rest of the village would be like, oh my God, you got to speak to them? Because they're just more revered. They're more, but see, our society is flipped. They've got it inverted. So everything that has value has no value, and everything that has no value, they try and create a value, but your soul doesn't get fulfilled by their created value. And your soul is what you have to connect to, because that is the disconnect why you're doing things that make you feel bad. And you got to connect to yourself, and then yourself will guide you. Believe me, they will fucking guide you. No, I'm fucking stop. I still wish I want to get to that thing where I was last night and see. Maybe I'm not supposed to see it. That's one thing too, where it was like, okay, I reach certain things. When I stop, all of a sudden it's because, no, that's not what you're talking about. Go. So that is why it stops like that. Sometimes it's like a thing, but yesterday there was like a couple, or it seems like there's been a few for a couple days. It's like, what? I thought I was talking about something, and then it's just like, where'd the information go? And then, so anyways, so some of those happens because I'm talking about things I'm not supposed to talk about. And I like, I sometimes have no idea. Most of the time, I have no idea what I'm going to talk about. Like, it can be like a vague thing. Like, I was going to talk about cookies, and then look where we're at. So, yeah, because there was some, I got to think of the things that I wanted to say, too. Okay, let's go back to this. So, so at the border, they're having some kind of an altercate, big thing where it's going to, because they have these other groups too out there. So some, these militia things, I don't know, they're trying to create this. So we're in like, fuck, have you walked all the way there? Like, are you going to walk all the way there? Take you all week to get there, and you're just going to sit there for the weekend and then turn around and walk all the way back? Like, I wonder if some of these people are staying there longer. I don't know. But anyways, her videos, I still think the thing about this asking people for money, asking people to pay your thing, especially like, it's so odd to be like, I'm going to go on this trip. I got a shut off notice, this huge amount of money. Like, I don't know how much power is there. Like, mine is like $125 a month during the winter. But my first winter, I had a plug-in heater. I was trying to keep it warm in here, and I didn't have I did have wood, but I don't know. I was doing it wrong, and I had a plug-in heater, and my bill was like $300 a month. And so that's when I switched things up. But I do pay a shit ton on wood. So my power, so I don't know. Some people could have 600, 800, 1400 could be 1 month for all I know. I think it depends on where you live, how big your house is, how much you get charged for your power, a bunch of shit. So I don't know, but it just is like, you get a shut off notice that, you're saying it's impossible for you to pay. This is going to destroy your entire life. This is what she's saying. She's about to lose everything. I was like, how would you lose everything? Why wouldn't you just like, and I'm pretty sure she lives in little apartments. And I'm positive that she is a landlord. Like, she may own the apartment building. Like, I don't know. The whole thing to me, the part that seems to disconnect is like getting this bill and then saying, you guys pay my bill. Government's a dickhead who won't pay my fucking bill. They'll pay these other people's bills, won't pay my bills. So you guys pay my bill. I'm gonna go on this fucking trip over here. And then when I get back, we'll talk about it. It's like, it just seems like this, like a part of our sovereignty, a part of our going into freedom is going into ourselves, taking care of ourselves. Like, figuring out, and if you can't pay that bill, then, well, what am I going to do? And like, I'm facing this stuff. So it's on my mind a lot, because March is coming fast now. Like, it's speeding up, isn't it? And, and I sit here all day long thinking, okay, so if they come and they tell me I have to leave, I'm not going to go out there and, fight and make some big scene. I feel like if you go and you take this house away from somebody and play these games, and especially while it's all falling apart, then to me, karma, this is how I have always lived, though. It's like, let karma take care of it. Like, your bad energy will come back on you. I'm not going to sit here and make my own. I'm just like, okay, whatever. I'll go to the next thing. And so I will, and I was been, looking around thinking like, what all would I take? Because there's probably some stuff I wouldn't take. I was just like, I'll just leave it. Just take the stuff I want to take. My biggest problem will, of course, be in the truck thing, because there's a lot of weird stuff because of all the different people move. There's a lot of weird shit now with the trucks, the moving trucks I keep hearing. So I don't know. Maybe it's gotten better. But supposedly, too, there's like Huge amount of people. Like a third of the mortgages were about to go into foreclosure at the end of December. So, I mean, a whole bunch of us. And I just saw a guy talking about the money thing. And so this weekend is supposedly there's this big thing where something was said. So with Iran or Iraq or something with the money. And so this is where it will come out that the dollar has no value. The dollar's already, because there's nothing that backs it up. Everybody else has money that backs it up, and it's going to go into a global money. So we don't have to do that. Go use pesos here, euros here. I mean, all these different monies, and then trying to recalculate whatever. Everybody's is going to be the same. So that's going to be like, but see, that right there shows we're going, like the people who fear this global one world, it's not the global one world, it's the government that wants to be over. That's what we're getting rid of, is the government. But yeah, we're going to go into a global one world where we all just have freedom. The world is our playhouse. The money we will all share, and it will be based on this, something with substance. There's something that backs it up. And so, and there will be an equality. And that's why I keep saying, like, these people at the border are playing something out, because where we're going is to this equality and open, and where people are like, well, you can't just have open borders. It's like, who told you that? Who convinced you we can't have open borders? Like, because history class and all the fighting and warring, but that's stuff people got to see inside themselves. And these things happen, these occurrences happen to get you to question these scenarios, to get you to place how you feel about things. So to recognize, and it gives you an opportunity to gauge yourself. And so this, where we're headed into this one world, human beings, because our beings will be, because we'll be lined up a bunch of other beings, like we would be, and even if they change the name of us or whatever, or let's just call us the Earthlings. So the Earthlings, because there's a lot of people who live on Earth who aren't Earthlings, and they will, so the Earthlings will be their own thing, but the Earthlings will get their birthright to be able to move through the planet how they want, to not have someone asking for their papers and stuff like that. So that is something we're headed to. And this equality of, we're all the same. And these people who, want to go down there and protect the borders and show this and all that, they're still playing out this hierarchy, this land division, there's a lot of stuff. And it just is this whole energy of this colonization that has been occurring here this whole time, and this pushing back of people. And it is, there's a sadness to it, because how many of these people are Venezuelan, although that they keep arresting these ones. But see, that's a part of the show, because Donald had said, they've got all these criminals over here, all these criminals are just coming across. He wasn't saying every motherfucking person is a criminal. He was saying they are bringing all these people across so that they can sweep the criminals in without anyone noticing, because our government uses criminals as henchmen in their business tactics. And so they need these people coming over from all these places, which I'll tell you something too. I watched the other day, was called, it was on YouTube. It was called New York Confidential. So when LA Confidential was New York Confidential, it's just like the same fucking shit as like Deuce. It totally shows you this marriage between government and criminals. And the criminals, even there, they called them the CARTEL in New York. That's what they called them. Now all of a sudden the CARTEL is in Mexico. Well, it's just this criminal involvement, and before there was a lot, like in all of these movies, there's always these fucking blue gangsters. I mean, they show the they show those kind of guys way more. I don't even think that they have the Italian ones, They don't show as much with the Irish ones. But there's always these guys, these money guys. There's just the shady shit, man. But that shady shit has always been going. And then these people who think they're so awake are just like, they're the puppets, they're the toys of these people because they just go and do their work for them. And so, I don't know, there's a lot of shifting in this awakening thing, and seeing things for yourself, seeing your own self. And then there'll be some people who won't be able to face it. Like, even on her, it's like, man, she's always is them. She's not, so far, she hasn't shown that side of herself to be introspective and reflective and willing to make changes and stuff like that. And that's an important component to this healing process to get to the part of yourself that you want to get to. You have to be able to face those sides of yourself and to see, to not just always be thinking that it's someone else. That's where that whole victim mentality comes in, and why it is counterproductive. Because you're always just thinking it's someone else, it's never you. Well, you can't grow if it's someone else. The only thing you can grow from is you. So you have to be able to recognize you in the scenario so that you can make those changes for yourself. And okay. Wait a second. Let me think. Because I keep having this one thing I saw coming into my head, and I think it is a ship. I think it's a cruise ship. And there's a thing happening in the water. And all the people are out there trying to get it. And so they're way out where everything's just pitch black. And then, and you can see the waterways, but the thing in the water keeps changing colors, real vivid and changing shapes and colors, kind of like a star or something when it's in the sky. Because that's, if you go up at the telescope, that's what you see, is these colors changing. That's why I said it looks like someone dancing. It looks like someone's energy just up there. Like you think of your energy, this ghostly apparition, you outside of your thing that you think is you, when you're really you, this ghostly apparition thing. And up in the sky, and that twinkle creates the stars around that are observing and watching. And some can be playing parts, all sorts of stuff going to be going on. But in one in the water, I was like, that could totally just be one being, or it could be a whole ship of beings. Like it's trippy, but there's something. There keeps being all these different things. Like some of the sky ones now are so fucking wild. It is so magical. And especially those ones where you have the sun behind the planet, and then the light coming out from behind the planet. It's so cool looking. It goes out like these starbursts, and then you see these spheres. And the spheres is like the honeycomb. And to me, it's like the same thing with the honeycomb. Like, I don't know, because I'm sure probably that they all can get filled up, but like, do they all feel exactly the same, exactly perfectly the same? Or is that the creation of what we think of portals, little openings, little holes, little spaces where you can go through? And it's all based on your vibration. Like where those people just like go through a portal without realizing it, and all of a sudden they're somewhere else. It's because their vibration matched the weak spot. Like you couldn't go into a place that you don't match. That's probably why we don't just slip into portals all the time, because of this this glove lowers our vibration down, so that we don't just go and slip into all these different portals, but these other beings that are higher frequency, they can just move back and forth through them. Like that's what we'll get to, is being able to move back and forth to them. But we got to get to this point of, and that's where I'm not sure if it is just our disconnect from the glove avatar, mental disconnect from it, or if there is going to be some blast and we all, everybody loses this density, but you have awareness, so you continue to be yourself and you just keep moving forward. And I don't know how it's going to go, but I know there's some kind of a change, something that happens, that it gives us more freedom, takes away some of this density. And that's where I don't know if it's just our realization of it, or if there is actually something that happens, because no matter what, it's actually something happening. So it depends on, what level on all this stuff. And the stuff that just keeps being so weird too. Like, I don't even remember if I finished saying some of the stuff. So the quantum guy said that this weekend that there's some kind of a thing going on where they've done a reevaluation on the money. So this would be when it would come out that the dollar has no value. Nobody's going to take it. We already know that other places aren't taking it already. But the news just isn't saying that. This becomes an independent, traumatic dealing. Somebody goes on a trip and then they find out, that, like, you have to get your money exchanged beforehand. You have to get their money. And the people have got to be seen. But see, there's that changeover too. And if they've never gone before, they may not realize. Like, if they go and they get, say they buy like $500 worth of euros, and then they get something where they don't realize that what they got is really worth like $50. Like, I don't know. I just know the guy in Mexico. I had already heard this for a while, so I pay attention to that stuff. And that guy in Mexico said nobody would take their dollars. And that used to be the thing they wanted. Like, if you went to Mexico, they wanted American dollars. And now he's like, no, I don't want them. I won't touch them. You have to do everything in pesos. So, and then he was using his card. So he wouldn't even know the exchange yet until he got home. Except for, well, he couldn't do any exchange. So I don't know. To me, it seems like there would keep being a lot of just like disasters on the money thing, going and traveling to other places that are on the BRICS nation thing. So but hopefully it is this weekend. Hopefully that would solve so many problems for so many, because they can't go after our houses if the banks all crash. And there's so much leading up, like, and that's what's going to happen. It's just like, fuck, I don't know when. Like, I've been playing this game since 2020. And man, I am so glad. And I keep thinking about this too, that PPP thing and Beach Broadcast. Because back in 2020, when I was hearing all that stuff, it really did seem like that the financial crash was going to happen right then. It seemed like, and then when it stretched out and they put Joe in and all that stuff, it was like, oh my God. Then when it went for a couple months, and then I thought, surely it's not going to go for a whole year. And then it just keeps going. And now it's like, now he's been there for almost a whole fucking thing. I was like, this is the weirdest experience. Yeah, the money thing already crashed. But anyways, so when Beach Broadcast, or Santa's surfing her thing, and she would talk about the money thing all the time. There was a few. It was like Pimp, what is that guy's name? Pimp something. I think it maybe has something with money. Pimp, I don't know, Pimp something. And Charlie Ward. There was a few other ones. But, and she had said about this PPP loan. And they were making it so simple. All you gotta do is just push this thing. You don't have to show anything. And she was saying that she thought it was the white hats were trying to start giving money back to the people. And so she said it seems like they're just starting to try and integrate money in to help people. And so she was taking it very much like that. And she was telling all these people, go apply. And there was tons of people applying. And And it seems like one of my daughters, well, everybody was really struggling hard during that time. Like my daughters lost their jobs. One had to move out of her house, move in with the other one. Like it was like a, and I had said about that loan thing. And I think my daughter went on and looked at it, and she, thank God, her thing, it was hitting her to be like, whatever it was, she didn't do it. I don't know if she tried and she ran into a problem or what it was, but she didn't do it. But to me, I was like, from all of the talking about it and all the stuff with the finances and stuff, I thought, oh yeah, man, that's cool. They're giving this money back, because I know that there's going to be all this money going back. But now how this is flipped around, and it's like, I don't know, because this was this guy, I can't remember the video who it was, but they went to the bank, and there was just seems like they were sitting there or something. So I don't know if they went to talk to him about something. It didn't seem like they just went in to make a deposit. But anyways, she said the bank was usually empty, always empty. There's no one there. And she said that's why she likes to go there. And she said when she went this time, it was packed full. It was just all these people scurrying around. So she asked somebody, what's up? And they said it's the FBI, and they're here collecting all the data on all the PPP people. They're making charges, they're arresting people. And I've heard that there's a bunch of people who have already been arrested and about fraud. So I don't know, because when it fraud, you would have to lie about something. So there must have been something in the things that there was, you had to lie. And that's where my daughter was like, well, I'm not going to do that. And then, so there maybe was something with that. I don't know. I don't remember what the whole thing was. I just feel bad because I was pushing her to do something she could be in big trouble for now. And it just taught me like, fuck, I don't know, just shut the fuck up. Don't, but there's all these people who are getting in trouble, which is so weird, because it's just like everybody's trouble is their trouble, so that it helps them to move forward, to give them that thing that they need to heal or work through or whatever. So the trouble is should be a welcomed misery at this point, because it is your gift from the universe of what you need to work through. But but there's people who are getting in trouble supposedly and getting arrested, and it's federal and stuff. And they said that the government needs this money back or something. Of course, because that was the big fucking drama. We're giving away all this money, but we need money, so we're going to keep taking from the people. There's a whole weird thing with taxes and shit going on. So this seems to be a part of the breakdown, the takedown of the government, the overstep. Look at these criminals. Like, these are the people who run you. This is the people who, it's like they go after regular people. And I don't know how it's all going to play out, because there's also the whole thing with all those people who jumped on board with the TikTok shop now, who are in all sorts of trouble with all these other kinds of laws like copyright and all this shit that they're trying to get these people. And there's people who are getting charges and stuff. So there's a lot of stuff happening. And then, all these people are trying to take their houses, it's just this thing. And whatever's happening for you is your lessons. Like all this stuff with my house, these are my lessons. I'm going to stand for what I believe in. But sometimes you can stand for what you believe in, and that doesn't mean you're going to get what you want. But that doesn't mean that you're going to lose everything. It just means that there's a shift occurring. There's something else going on that, like if I thought I was going to be here forever, but then throughout the whole time I kept seeing like I didn't think I would be here forever. Like I always thought I would have more than one house, but that, I thought this would be my place. I would Airbnb it, and then all this stuff with the maps and looking at it. And then, it just has made it where I started seeing things differently. And then when I moved over here, it was before all this nonsense started. And so, you start seeing things very different. And so now, and through the thing, being here, it would be like where I would get locked at, like stuck over here. where it's just like a treacherous ordeal to try and cross the pass to get out of here. And so then it's like, fuck, you get stuck here like half the fucking year. You can't get out and go. And then even when you do go, it's always intense drives. Crossing the passes and going through all this mountain driving. It's very intense. It's like, you know, I don't know, I'm so much more used to it now than it was before. Like if everything was perfect over here, not just like perfect, but if it was more in alignment to me. There's just so many things that are just not in alignment to me over here. I'm just, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like I'm going to be going more places. And there's a bunch of places that there's a bunch of you guys all live in. I want to go see some of these places. These are a bunch of places I've always wanted to see. So maybe it is going to just be, I'm just going to get this van and just travel around. And once it's spring, I get my stuff moved over there. And maybe I'll put my stuff in the shed, get some van or something. Just me and Stella go travel around and go a bunch of places and see where it is that we want to get a place. Find where we want to live. Like, because I don't want to be just limited. Like, and this is like so limited, and I don't have friends, and I don't have any, is like my life isn't here. You know what I mean? It's definitely been a place of isolation and healing and growing and evolving, which is, you know, necessary. Like I see this place as so different, but while I'm here, the things that stood out were ways where I was like, okay, yeah, I can, you know, I've got to let go. But like yesterday, I was out in the yard raking and stuff, you know, and I brought all these rocks in. Like I've done everything here, everything, like with my hands. I built this stone walking path. I built all these stone planters going around. I've made paths, like I've done all this stuff and did it by myself. Even things what I would get shipped and it would say it needs 2 people. I'd be out there by myself to making it. And I'm not saying it as whining. Like I could go out and make friends. Like I could do the whole thing what other people do just to have these phony relationships. It's just like, no, I'm not going to, no, I don't care. Like I've got people I talk to. I can talk to people. I'm not completely just out in the woods out, you know, where I haven't spoken to people in years or something. I talk to people all the time. But, and I interact with people. But it's like, it's just, I don't know. It's like being someplace where, you know, isn't where you're going to be or something. But I don't know what all is going to happen. I hope if the bank crashes this weekend, or at least does something big, at least starts it. Like, I don't know. Because if they do that and they say, oh, well, now they've manipulated the money system, and so now they're shutting the dollar out, and the dollar has no value, and so we're going to have to go through this exaggerated dropping this and crashing that and all this drama that will, you know, come with it, because that's the part that will get people's attention. The parts where it's like, oh my God, the market's crashing. Oh my God, this, like all these different places closing and stuff. But I did hear where people are saying it's like all this stuff is working. It's like 85,000 or 85% of the people now are always talking about all the shit going on. So there's a lot more people paying attention. But, you know, there's a lot of people who are paying attention who aren't fully awake. That's why I said it's like all different levels. And when this thing happens, it's going to be all different levels. It's going to, it's wild. It's like a bomb going off, and how it affects all the different people. It's like how close you are to it. And think about that on the micro, macro. So this energetic bomb that will go off, that will create all this change, but it's all each individual stuff. So we are all the change. We are all the ones who manage the change. We are the ones who carry it through. So that is But there's not everybody's here for that whole part. It's like certain people. And I don't know. But, if it's like, there's just a lot for us all to see what's coming, what's next. But I hope that the money thing, because if they do that, and the bank is crashed and starts publicly being crashed, see, they can't be taking people's homes because all the contracts are null and void. So, that's the game we're playing here. This is like it's like this. I see it like this intense poker match or something. They're not showing anything, and you just got to sit there as not the advanced player, and just like for me, it's like trying to keep that look. I'm not stressed. I'm trying to play my hand. But it's a stressful hand to play. So, I've got to see how this game plays out and then just go with the flow. But, I've been thinking about like what stuff I would take and going and getting situated. Oh yeah. And also, I think I already did the hair thing, but man, I can't believe how, and still, I'm telling you, in the mirror, this little tiny thing right there, maybe, but you can turn the hairs and it will be, like you can see, it's more of what the thing picks up as the contrast, the light, but in the mirror, it's wild. It's just all going away. And I swear my skin is getting better, and then you just feel better. And so I don't know, I'm curious to see on the other people who are doing the copper, magnesium, and vitamin D, how it goes for them. So whoever's doing it, make sure and keep saying and updating, because that's what I'm curious about, because I have done so much detoxing and so much of, and I take a lot of other things, so I don't know if it's like you have to be, and I would think it's different for everybody. And everybody has different shortages of different things. And you got to be careful too. It's like, because Wally was just talking about that he was feeling super dizzy, and had been doing so much of his detoxing and taking care of himself. And then he realized he had been overdoing it on vitamin K or potassium or something, and that fucks with your heart and blood pressure. And you do have to, I would say, no potassium and niacin. You got to watch out. And potassium, like vitamin K and, I don't know, bananas and stuff, because we would have people would come in that were having heart problems at the hospital, and sometimes the doctor, or blood pressure or whatever, and sometimes they would check their labs and stuff, and they would tell them that they just needed to eat more potassium. And it seems like it would be like spinach and bananas. But, if you're taking the potassium and niacin and you're feeling weird. So all the things like that you're taking to try and make yourself better, make sure you get to know the product you're taking. Just like it kind of reminds me of like when we went to the dog training thing, and she said all these people come in and they don't know their breeds, they don't know their dog's personalities and stuff. And I was like, oh my gosh, yeah, we got to be more informative. Like, we got to look into things, like not just get a dog because it's cute. Get it because you like its personality. So many people get dogs because they think they're cute and then they hate their personalities. And so but it's like the same kind of thing, is like to do that research into all the things that you consume. So anything that you put it into you, to do the research and see like what could be the effects and stuff. That's just part of like our development into being more proactive in taking care of ourselves, more informed being able to and understand better. So see, but it's such a good learning curve too. You know, just like the copper sickness, like you get some of the things, yeah, you'll get, you just got to notice, like, man, I feel weird. And then to me, when I had, like, I must have had a headache too. I don't remember. I just was so nauseous. And then I looked it up and saw. But then the same thing happened to my sister. Well, Holly's having that with the potassium. Like, you got to pay attention to what you take in. Don't just automatically think, oh, well, it's healthy, so I can take as much of it as I want. No. You know, just be more informed and more aware. And it also, one thing too, is what I was seeing so strong is doctors. Like, just think about like all this stuff going on and the absolute unawareness that they would have to continue working in that scenario, and to not have the awareness of stuff. Like, it still blows my mind, that nurse practitioner, and trying to argue with me. She hasn't looked up anything about breast explants. You know she has not. And then she's going to argue with me about it. And it's like, dude, I've been doing research. You're just talking because you're ego. And then to tell me that there's no environmental toxins, that is ludicrous. You know, the science. It's only these absurd science people who don't understand science that are saying stuff like that. The smart scientists, they would never say something like that. It's like, oh my God, this inverted world is so weird. And you think how many, well, I don't know, like how many people even confront them. It's like when I said anything, it was like, hey, slow down, calm down there, Missy. Take a seat. You need to relax. It's like, well, I was already sitting, but yeah, it's just, and then it's just so funny that right after I said that, then that hospital in wherever, Michigan or someplace, Massachusetts, is said now that they're putting out a whole thing. You can't go in there and talk to them unless you talk in a certain way. There's certain language that will no longer be allowed. It's like, it's all this compliancy, do what you're told. Don't ask questions. We'll tell you what's right. We'll tell you what's best for you. It's like, and I'm so glad too that I got that extra thing in there too, where she was like trying to tell me, like, you have to go to the doctor all the time and blah blah blah. I was like, well, since I stopped taking medicine, I'm never sick. Why would I go to the doctor if I'm not sick? Well, your insurance, they like to know. They like to keep up with things. I just sit there and just stare at her like figure it out, chick. Like, oh damn. I got no problems, but I'm gonna go in looking for one because the insurance and the doctors and the whole Western medicine relies on it. And all the chemicals and toxins, like half the people are going to come in and fucking be sick. I still don't, like, I'm figuring tomorrow maybe I'll hear about this viral load thing. And I'm curious too. Now I'm kind of curious, like, is it a zero? Am I like having a small amount in me that I'm fighting or something? Like, I don't know. I guess we'll hear. But I'm sure not going to turn to them for any kind of thing. And I swear to God, that's all that they are trying to do. And I had 5 tubes. There's no fucking way that was just a CBC and a BMP. Because that is a red and a purple top. I mean, a green and a purple top. Well, it depends. Because, yeah, it can be a red top. So, it is, but that's a purple and a green. And there was like 5 different tubes. 5 different colors. So, I don't even know what the hell. I'm sure she's not checking the toxins like I asked. Sure, she's just trying to find something. They're probably doing cancer markers and all that shit. They're just trying to find something in us to loop us in. And then they know of our insecurities. They know how our mind works. And they start telling you that you're sick, you need this and you need that. Then you start feeling like, oh my God, I got to get this, I got to get that. And you have to be able to say, no, I'll stick to what I'm doing. And, you know, if I die, then I die. I'm definitely not going to go and be your lab rat to try and stay alive and be sick all the goddamn time. Like, fuck that. That's what they just want you to do. And so when so many people just play along, so many people are sick because they go to the doctor. like you go to them for one thing, and then, you know, when you're eagerly like, oh, well, my stomach hurts all the time. And, you know, I think they get a lot of people in with the GI problems, IBS, what is that? Heartburn, digestive disorders, because our environment is so toxic to our gut, and our gut's health is what creates so much problems in everybody's health. It is one thing, it can create absorption problems, so you're not getting the nutrients that you need from your food, and it gets overridden with parasites because of all of the stuff that they're putting out there. Especially, they're just purposely giving us parasites. Like, it's just like they're just shooting those out there. And so they're trying to, it's like take a like I see, like in a lab, yeah, in a lab, getting one of those like beakers, and the beaker contains all the contaminants, all of that, and then just breaking the beaker and letting the air take it out and infect the people. So it's kind of like that. So but how much it affects the gut, and how they get people in the first with that, and then they get them all on the, you know, Prilosec and all the different medicines for all the different things, and all that does is cause more problems, and people start getting side effects, and you go in for the problems with your side effects, and they tell you you've got new issues. It has nothing to do with your medicine. It has to do with now you're just getting older. You just got more issues. But don't worry, we'll take care of that one too. We got plenty. Look at this whole pad of papers I've got here. I can write you prescriptions all day long. As a matter of fact, it helps my pocketbook. So yeah, there's fucking nonsense with their bullshit. With the but all the different people, see, all have to go through these different things. Oh yeah, and the night before, like last time, I don't even know what the hell was going on. There was something big though. But the night before, I was getting surgery. Like, I was in there talking to the doctor and everything. Got my surgery just like what I wanted. So hopefully that was just, because then I woke up and it was like, oh, damn it. Like, come on. If you're going to take him out during the night, just leave him out. It's like, listen, God. So much of it is our minds too. It's our minds. Like, we have to reconvince ourselves or something. And even on this reconvincing, then, you know, if I convince myself, no, I don't have implants, and they just disappear. If that wasn't meant to be how it was supposed to go, if it was meant to be that I go and meet this doctor, and this doctor does it, and this whole interaction that occurs, because that is, you can't override the interactions that have to occur. So you can't just make something happen because you want it to happen. If it's supposed to happen 2 weeks from now, and this certain surgeon, and that, you know, could be something that changes everything for that one, because somebody comes in and pushes him to do it, and then he goes and starts doing a whole bunch of people. Like, you know, you just don't know what it is, why you do how things are set up. You know, there's so much, you know, so much through life where it's like, you know, we think that well, if I'll just do this, I'll do that. And it's very different to sit back and, you know, be like, okay, well, let's just see what happens. Let's just see what happens. And it's like a constant thing of a challenge, like a constant challenging yourself to just, when things are stressing you out, to just be like, okay, it's fine. Just calm down, relax. Everything's going to be fine. And then plus to just keep being like, you don't know how it's going to play out. Like at the last minute, like fucking February 25th, all the banks could crash and we could go into darkness, and it would be no fucking auctions, no court things, nobody's house is getting taken, you know, I mean, anything. Like, we're right on the edge of this thing, this occurrence, this thing changing. And so, I mean, it can be in any split second. So I'm not going to start packing. I was thinking, okay, so if they come and they say they auction my house, and then they come and say, okay, now you have to move I may even try and negotiate for them to pay to get a truck, get them to pay for the trucks, because they did do that at the other house where I was living. They auctioned it, which it was so crazy because I had a lawyer and stuff for that. And then they auctioned it, and they said, well, it's so unlikely. Usually a house has to go through like 3 or 4 auctions before it actually even ever gets on the ballot. And then it always goes off of it right before the auction. And then even when they get it, like the auctioning thing, what I was told by these people back then, a couple of years ago, was it can take a long time. Like there could be, you can have your house foreclosed in and live like for 4 years. And there's people who, a lot of people who've stayed living in houses that were foreclosed on and nobody ever came and moved them out. So it all depends on that scenario. So on mine, then they started saying that they sold the house, the auction. It's like they auctioned it and like right away. It's like you have to move. And so then they paid me so as to not have to evict me and do all that thing. So they will come up and pay you. So right there, it could be money. It's like, okay, well, I'll go. I don't leave. I need money though. You gotta give me some money to get the truck. And then just take it, go to my mom's, and then, you know, take my money, get some sort of van or something. Like, I don't know. Just go with the flow, see what happens, because anything can happen. It can all change in a second. And that's the thing that we're at. That's where we're at in this whole thing, is we're in this time of change. Like we're waiting on this big change. Like everybody thinks we're going this one direction. Some of us know that no, we're not going in that direction. We're going in that direction, but it's going to fucking just sweep it. It's like we're going right to the cliff, and then it's going to turn. It's like I see it as like all these sheep running and running and running, and the cliff's up there, and all of us standing back going, don't go, and they're running and running. No, this is the way, this is the way. And then there's going to some that go right off the cliff. But then all of a sudden they turn, and they all start going the other way. And that is what's going to be. It's like everything is going this one direction, and things are falling apart because it's a part of it. What was this other one? Oh, fuck, another horrible, god damn, there's some horrible shit. I feel bad sometimes saying it because it's like, you get this stuff in your head. This is a Chinese couple, young, and the girl, she's like 22, real pretty. And then the boy was real pretty too. It's so disturbing. If you don't want to hear it, then just skip past, because I know some of the stuff is just horrible to get it in your head. But where I kept saying, there's just going to be like everything is going to play out. Every weird motherfucking thing. And is this one, so he left his wife and got together with this girl, and she decided she didn't like his kids, 1 and a 2-year-old. So he got the other one and the son was supposed to live with him for 6 years, then go to the mom. So he had 5 years left. His girlfriend, fiance, whatever, she's like, hell to the no. Let's start fresh, dude. So he goes, okay, well, I'll get my daughter from my wife, get her 2-year-old, we'll get her over here, then we'll just put him up in the window, and then when nobody's looking, we'll just shove him out. 15 stories or something. So they got murder. I think they got death penalty. I think they got put to death, actually. I think that's why the story is up, because they got already put to death yesterday. That's in China. They don't fuck around, man. But it showed the mom, you know. It's like, oh my God, how devastating. Oh my God. And that is where you guys see, like, this is, these are soul things. These are big soul stories. None of this is happening by accident. This is all big things playing out to go full circle. But it's like, fuck, man. Shit. This stuff's so horrible. Like, there's constantly, and all these, so much innocence. There keeps being all these, like, so small. fucking 2-year-old just punch him in the face so hard that they fly across the room and hit the wall. It's like, this is our society. It's so dirty, so fucking greedy and dirty, and it's like everybody has to get that dirt out of them. If you can't get that dark out of you, that, you know, is like, you don't go forward in this game. You go forward somewhere. But, you know, you got to clean this filth off of you, this dark, sick energy, man. And, but you got to, is the going forward is, you know, it's all about love and unity. And, you know, I don't even know, like, if you, there's just so many lives and so many interactions and so many scenarios, you know, that are constantly playing out. I mean, it's just so wild. There's even a thing where the guy, you know, punches a 2-year-old, like, in the scenario in the past life, it could have been that the 2-year-old did something really horrible to that guy. And this is where I said it's like this constant go around, come around, go around, come around. And the people get in these cycles and they just keep, it's like Punch and Judy back and forth. And you got to, when you get into the higher mind and you start, he's like, I mean, it wouldn't do any good even for us to go in and try and figure out theirs. What can we do? What can we do? No, they've got to figure their shit out. It's like we all have to figure out our own shit. So you got to recognize your own weird shit, that you've got these patterns of behavior, these that you keep doing back and forth with the people who you interact with. When you get into these stubborn emotional stagnations and you don't know how to get through it, I just keep stepping back. Keep trying to not take things so serious. And, you know, but it's just for each person to maneuver. Just, you know, there's different ways of doing things. There's different ways of looking at things. They've given us nothing but limitations. Nothing but limitations to insecure, angry people. And then put them in the dark and let the dark have their way with them. And, you know, it's like, this is a lot. Like, it's wild. As it is a lot. This is the dark and the light battle at the end. But your light, you have to find your light. You have to let go of your dark. It isn't let go of it. It's not like you have to kill it, because you have darkness in you. You have a yin and a yang, but you have to get balance. That's the thing, is so many people's darkness is, it's like their yin and yang is just all dark. They're a black hole of darkness. They fed off the darkness. The darkness is fed off of them. And they, it's like a product of their environment. But, you know, that's not the way to move forward. That's all I know. Like, and each person has their own, and each person is always going to do what they were going to do. It's not like I can say something and I'm going to make a change. But it's weird because I can be the change that you make. It's so trippy. But I can't make something happen that wasn't going to happen. So no matter what happens, it was always going to happen. It's not because I did something. I was always going to do that, and they were always going to do that, and it was always going to be the way that it's going to be. It's not like you can, like I can try and tell you and force you to do something. Like, you can go against the universe. You can go against your own script. You can go against your own destiny. That's impossible. So it's wild because, you know, when you think about on one level about those of us who are out there speaking and trying to get people's attention for whatever, all different reasons. I mean, you got people, I mean, there's just all different reasons. And so on, you know, what I'm trying to get people's attention for is you got to manage yourself. You got to notice things about yourself. You got to manage yourself. And that is this growing. We're going through growing pains. This is like a growth spurt. And you have a lot of information inside of you for years and years of practice. But it's like so many people have to learn to trust inside themselves, to trust themselves, to participate in their life in a different way. It is very, I think a lot of people are very external, and you have to go more internal. And that's just something, you just got to think of it. It may be like, oh, what do you mean? What do you mean? How do you go internal? But all you got to do is be thinking, okay, well, I need to go internal. And then your internal self will start explaining it to you in a way that you understand. But you got to put it out there. You got to ask the questions, and they'll start helping you understand. And it may be a lot different than what you think. Don't go into it with an expectation. It's a communication. There's so much communication, because you got to have a communication with yourself, with your body, your soul, all of that match up. And then you have a communication with this world, with communication with other beings. You have a communication with the beings outside of the universe. Like, there's a lot of stuff, and it's on all different levels. And so, like, you just can't explain everything to everybody, but everybody's got to get on their own game, be on top of their own stuff and see, because everybody is playing out these different patterns and these different life experiences, and it's like these completions of these different soul cycles and journeys and stuff. And I think there's this completion of these cycles, because we're ending this age and then we're going into another one. So all of these cycles are ending, and then it's like starting these new cycles. And these cycles back here that we're ending, see, they have like a karmic attachment. They have this where we use each other for this balancing, like where I said, like this, one person kills somebody, and then like there's back and forth, and but it doesn't all have to be murder. It can just be in all sorts of different things. Somebody left somebody robbed somebody. So it's just this back and forth turmoil. It goes back and forth that, each soul has to figure out for themselves and clean up their own stuff, and then move forward. It's kind of like cleaning the slate if you do it, but I don't know if you have to clean up everything. It seems like to me, because there's a lot of stuff that I find myself now just being like, just let it go. Oh, well, I don't feel anything about that. I don't feel anything about that. Like, there's stuff that it just becomes easier and easier to let stuff go. I think it's harder in the beginning. And it is, because it's this whole journey. You're born, you're one way. Everybody tells you you're too much of this, you're too much of that. You're not enough of this, you're not enough of that. And you start trying to change yourself and make people happy. And some people just get mad and angry and feel unseen and just become, that narcissist personality. And then other people are like, oh, well, let me try harder. But those pairings always have to play out these different scenarios. So you need those different pairings. So, all this stuff it was supposed to happen. There's nothing where you need to be like, oh, it wasn't supposed to happen. No, it was all supposed to happen. Everything that happens is supposed to happen. So you don't have to be down on that. It's just being, recognizing, doing what you can to improve yourself, how you feel in life, improve your relationships, be more thoughtful, be more profound in your approaching, and then to and then going into this new age is like this new development of self, this new side of yourself, this caring, fun side of yourself. So this side of everything where you thought you were too much and not enough, it's like that's where you got to put all that away, and then you get back to who you were. that person that was too much and not enough and stuff. But now you accept that person. Now you love that person. Now you're like, well, you're not too much for me. If you're too much for them, that's their problem. You know, that's their weakness. If you're too much for them and if you're not enough for them, they need more of it. They need to figure out for themselves. If you're too much for somebody, then they need to figure themselves out. Like, it's not you who has to change. The only thing is you have to learn how to accept and love yourself. But you don't have to gauge yourself to make other people comfortable or other people happy. And oh yeah, the guy with the black fingernails, because he was saying that us boomers, that our problem, the problem the boomers have is we're so jealous. Because we know that they're all going to do better than us. And that we have not, we're a bunch of big old failures, and we're going out as failures. And the next ones, they're going to do so much better than us. And that's what we have a problem with. It's like, dude. Fuck. And yesterday, too, I did this video because I just see these women all the time. Okay, so we have these young girls who are going out and buying these retinols and shit like that, which is going to just fuck up their skin. Who knows if that's what the problem is with Kylie Jenner, or they just fucked with their skin such a young age, or if it has to do with stress, or, it has to do with something to get us to recognize in society because of her role she's playing and what they're talking about. The same thing with all these different people. Like Demi Moore, all these different people coming out and the conversations that go down. That's what it's meant to be for the talking. But the retinol and stuff, to me, I don't think is good, because even when I had asked about it, I was like 35, and I asked the doctor, and she's like, well, yeah, I could give you some. It's cheap, but you got to know that if you use it and you put it on, it'll make those wrinkles go away. If you ever stop using it, all of it will go back. It's like your skin becomes addicted to it. I was like, oh no. So I didn't do that. I may have done like 1 tube of it at one time. It was like this little tiny one, and maybe it was something like it or something. It seems like I remember some little tube of something and then wiping it on there, but I was like, I didn't stick with that or whatever. So whatever, I didn't interfere. And then I heard again later from somebody else, because she was going down and going to these in Dallas, letting the makeup places test on you, kind of like Taya Leone and Dick and Jane in that movie. She would go to those, and she had said too about the chemicals on there and how it will affect your skin. Your skin will become addicted and stuff. So, like, I don't want to do those. But you have these ladies in all these different ages. Like that one who was like 54 or something, and she's, pushing kids. Like, and she wears so much makeup. I mean, there's nothing real about these people. There's nothing real when you look at them. Their hair color's not real. You can't see their skin color. You can't see anything on their skin. There's nothing. And so, and they're telling girls how to age. I'm going to probably have my facelift. I'll get my first facelift probably in the next couple of years. I'm using the retinol, like this whole weird thing. And this is who's influencing these kids. Besides the fact, get them to be fearful of aging and stuff. And now my approach is very different, obviously. Now I've got a whole new view on aging. But to me, even in that whole part of society, if I hadn't come to the conclusion that aging isn't even real, that to me is still like to be more natural. Like, we got to put that out for the kids too. They don't all have to think, oh well, I just have to wear a lot of makeup, cover up everything, change my hair color so nobody knows, and shit ton of makeup and facelifts and injections and all that stuff. And then everybody starts looking like these weird prototype beings or something. Some kind of mannequin, the earthling mannequins or something. That so I did this video because this one lady she's always like, well, I'm 63, and she's always like, how great she looks, and all I see is like, you've got fake hair, fake man, like, what is real? What looks good here? I'm trying to figure it out. And but that's her whole thing. And she seems happy and cheerful, and she's obviously, she's looking good and feeling good for, no, you do you. But she's promoting this, and she's talking about her retinol, and how great it is that they've got it on TikTok Shop. And so I did one and said, because she's always like, well, I'm 63, I'm almost 63. And so I did that yesterday. And I said, well, I want to put something else out there about this aging, because I'm almost 63 and I don't use retinol, and this is my real hair, like my real hair color, my real hair is even my real eyebrows. Like hardly anybody has real eyebrows anymore. And even though they're still light, I can see them getting darker. And the reason I'm not putting any color or anything is so it can be seen, so people can gauge for themselves what they think about the aging and copper and whatnot, because I'm honest about the things I'm doing. Only thing I've added in is I had some zinc, and so I was like, fuck, I'm gonna throw a little zinc in my tea in the morning. And then I got that selenium. So I'm saying all this stuff, I'm not doing anything. It's just all I've been able to see so far is, detoxing is important, but adding in the minerals. And so I did some video talking about that, and then I was like, oh my gosh, that other lady who is older, she is more of that kind of, because I'd even told her about doing the copper and stuff, and she was like not interested. She said, oh, I'll look into it. But she's way more promoting, because she is an attractive older person, that she's way more into promoting. She's a different thing, like a different platform or different outlook. But she was pushing retinol one day. I don't think I know all her ads or her videos, not one retinol after another. This other lady's is just all this push. And I just think this is fucking with all these kids' heads. Like, to think like this is the only way society is. There's more ways of doing it. And I think it's important to learn to love yourself. I think that them fearing aging and all that stuff is going to give them wrinkles. It's going to give them stress lines and stuff. And they're not teaching them any of that stuff of how to, well, I think that some of them have learned how to redirect or calm themselves, but they don't know how to use that stuff properly. So there's just so much fear and so much rejection, so much hate, oh my gosh. No, there's so much of this energy and so much of this toxicity that has to be purged out. And it's all coming to the surface. Like, you see it all around you. And so much trauma and bad stuff happening. And so today's Sunday. And you know what? They're making such a big thing about Texas on the news. Then you start thinking, okay, well, there's got to be something else that's going to go on. Well, then when I saw that thing about this money reevaluation that's going on with Iran or something, and I don't know if they have the dinar. There's something about what Charlie used to talk about. There's something about the dinar and something about the Iraq and Iran. It seems like that was going to be right at the end. But I can't remember. This has been going on so many motherfucking years now. But it seems like he said when we get to Iraq and Iran, that is when. So I don't know. I'm just, But that would make sense that they're distracting with all this border drama when there's actually this huge crash going on. That is where they're trying to keep us from not knowing, because people just keep keeping the dollar alive right here, even though it's already dead everywhere else. People keep it alive, keep going, and gotta get to work, gotta go, and they keep taking more and more and more from us. Like, it's absurd. So, anyways, I've been talking a long time. Let me think if there was some more stuff that, because it was, it seems like that there was some more stuff. There's always so much stuff. There's so much stuff that I see is happening. There's a bunch of things. There's weird things about Oh yeah, because the Greenland thing. This is something too about the Greenland thing. The beings that were on the Greenland thing, these Moyas or something, this Morias people, they are the representation of them, I guess, apparently, is the Easter Islands, those big statue things. And so, you know how it's just the heads were sticking up and they were telling us, oh, it's just these heads. God. But now they've dug down and they've got the whole bodies, and the things are like 65 feet tall, 65 foot tall. And that is what this one video I was seeing was talking about. Those are the beings from Greenland. Those are the beings whose ship or their world, like, I don't know, there's definitely, Crystal, I think you're right, there's definitely something with Greenland. Greenland just keeps coming up and coming up, and I was really surprised the other day when somebody said, no, it's like uninhabited, except for this got this big weather machine thing. And I don't know, it's really huge. Greenland's huge when you look at the thing, at the map. But they are distorting the maps anyways. They're making things look bigger and smaller, because I guess apparently Africa is like 3 times the size of what they make it look like on the map. They make Africa look like it's like the same as some of the other. No, Africa is way, way, way bigger than other places. And so anyways, I don't know, but everything's going to be changing, all this different landscape and stuff. So different places, and who knows how it's all going to go down and what's going to go down. We just hope this weekend. Well, I'm just going to keep hoping that they hurry up and crash these fucking banks, just because I don't want to fucking have to go and do all that. I don't want to go and pack, and it's like, I'll do it. If that's what I'm supposed to do, I'll do it. But I'd rather just like not do that right now. So I don't know. In perfect scenario, like this area won't be affected for like a couple years. I think California is right on the verge of something big. There's way too much talking about it all the time. These scientists that just feel like it's just right there telling us something's about to happen, something's about to happen. I just know it's going to be a domino effect for this whole West Coast. It will just keep going and going and going. We'll just have to keep moving further inland as the water comes up. And all these weird events, just like this giant ice wall. It's just moving through the ocean. Why doesn't it just sink down? How does it stay afloat? Like, if the water, I don't know. There's so much weird shit. There's just so much weird shit. We just live in a mystical, supernatural world. We live in a dream. We just got to learn how to work the dream. How to get with the magic. So I don't know, because there's a big part of the magic that's just playing out. You just jumped in on the ride, but I do feel like it went through the ride, and now it's like we're going back. Well, for me, because I'm reliving I'm going backwards. It's weird as fuck. I don't know, I gotta get way back there, and then it just goes, okay, we're going again, only now it's gonna be good. Now it's not gonna be horrible and nothing but trauma and drama for your whole fucking time. So anyways, we'll see how it all goes. I'm just gonna be oh yeah, and inspire was the word I was trying to think of yesterday. As I was inspired, and so I've been doing this crochet, and I'm gonna be done here in a little while. I'll show you tomorrow. I just love it. And my inspiration was these dusty rose corduroy jeans. And I was like, oh man, those are gonna be cute. I need this shirt. What shirt would go? And then all of a sudden I thought of this yarn. I was like, oh, that yarn, that would be so pretty. I can make one of those crochet halter kind of shirts. So I'm making this cute ass shirt. It's almost done. I just like, love it. And then the pants are supposed to be here tomorrow. Can't wait to see how this outfit is, if the combination works. It sure works in my head, so we'll see. But anyways, I feel a little like inspired. So I've been crocheting like a mad woman with my hand. It always gets like cramped up. So anyways, that's what I'm gonna do. Finish my shirt today. Find some stupid shit on TV. Even when I go outside and do the yard work, it still is like, god damn, the breathing in that stuff. You can tell, like, you're breathing in something. You can tell something's affecting you. And I have seen where other people are saying, like, they're noticing things. Like, they go outside and they're doing stuff and they come in and they can't stay awake. It's like, because they're drugging us. I've been saying that for a long motherfucking time. I know they're drugging us. It really came together when where I live. Everybody's on motherfucking drugs. Everybody's on antidepressants, anti-anxiety medicine. And it rains all the motherfucking time. I was like, oh, they're fucking creating this. This is like goddamn pharmaceutical heaven for the pharmaceutical company. Everybody's on drugs. So anyways, and then you go to the doctor. That's all they want you to do is get on drugs. I sure hope this, surgeon calls Monday. Oh yeah, we'd love to help you. Come on down. Let's just do this right now. Let's get it done. I'll be like, hell yeah. But if only things could go so beautifully and wonderful in our magical world. We still got to get this magical world. Get rid of all of these magical dark energy. Get that the fuck out of here. So anyways, that's what we're working on. Work on getting rid of your dark energy today. Let's rid this world of dark energy. So work on you, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Talk to you later. Bye.